Everyone. So today I welcome you here in the Department of Information Technology, and today we will talk about just basic introduction to Python programming, and we'll dive into some of the advanced part of that. So with that, I wanna start it with the basic part of the program. So there are parts like variables, math operators, conditions, control flow like if and else, and there are loops, functions, and so these are like basic part of the Python programming, which we'll today discuss. Then we'll come to that intermediate part where you will make classes, functions, and you will try to inherit object-oriented programming. And there are pip. You have to install pip packages from other. You have to make your own packages, or you can get packages from the internet, which you can do by using pip. And then there is the part of environments, like if you want to make Django projects, you have to be in a virtual environment, which Python has Python pip env, which you have to be in that so that it will create itself as an environment. And then we come to the part of advanced.
Okay, so let's dive into the advanced part of it. So there are many more things like Pygame. I'll show you how to make Pygames. Pygames, you can make 2D games. If you use 3D games, you have to use C sharp using Unity, like COD and all. Those are made up of very high level languages. Not high level languages, sorry, but high level programming. This is a high level language. So here what I was saying, like people will say that Python is a very slow programming, so people don't want to use it. But there are some modules that I will show you, some packages that are really very fast. You'll be amazed after you know it. And there are some concurrency parallelism, like you can pool threading and multiprocessing. So there are two types of thing. One is threading, one is multiprocessing. Both are not same. Like this multitasking is dependent on CPU's counting things like math problem, the arithmetical logical part, and threading is based on input output part, the IO part. Like someone is coming and like there is one door. Let's think it as like it's a door, but it's a let's visualize it as a code. So let's say you all are entering to the room, right? That you tried to enter, and you saw na I and our HOD server stop. Like na, because the core is busy with you all. Okay, that's how it works. So if we made another door, so we can use parallelism, right? Or we can also make it half. So what we can do, you can come from one side and we can go from the other side. So it's called threading, like dividing the core with two threads, like conveyor belt works. Okay. So these are the things. There are decorators and meta classes. This normally is in Django or any other frameworks. These are very high level things. Generators and keyword argument normally use dictionary and argument use tuples. Okay. So now I would like to show you some of the programs. Okay. So now you can see my screen. So here you can see that uh, anyone knows C or C++? Anyone of you know? Oh, you are from our department, so you know. Anyone other than the IT department? Anyone of you know? Okay. You can I ask from which departments you all are like?
We are from molecular biology and bioinformatics. Now we are starting to learning C programming.
Okay,
We are
okay,
going to
okay,
Python.
okay. So I'll not show you C and C programming. They will, our seniors will show you. So let's say this is one C programming, C++. Are you able to see it? Okay. So see, Java and C++, there is a bad thing for, it's not a bad thing for programmers. Technically, it's good. But for new learners, it's actually bad. You know why? Because what it uses is broiler plates, templates. Means you have to write many things before writing a simple console out print. So like here I have done what? I have included IO stream. It's an input output stream and using namespace STD. So namespace is based, if you know class, I told you not class object oriented programming. So Namespace is combined of all the classes, right? So standard is a class. So here you see now that what I have made just simple cout hello from Department of Information Technology. What it does is it will console print a simple program like hello world, but I have not used that cliche thing hello world. I have used hello from Department of Information Technology. Okay, so see, you have to write many more lines of codes, right? So here just see in Python, what you have to write for that is, what you will write for that is print hello from IT depth. So here, what you see is a Python programming is very intuitive for new learners to learn, right? So here, let's say in C, you have to define a variable. Like I showed you, a basic part of the programming is you have to define a variable. So here in variable part, you have to make what? Int a equals to 10 to make a variable. Okay. But what in Python, the specialty, or let's say it's the drawback of Python is it's for intermediate new learners, it's a specialty, but for actually programmers, it's a very important drawback. So what it is, it's a weakly typed language. Means you don't have to typecast the type of the data you wanna define. Like here, you can define, let's say, a equals to 10. You don't have to write int or float. Float is floating variable like decimal. Int is integer type. You all know, I know, but that's the specialty of the thing. And here are some so I told you now, in C and C++, those are multi-processed programming languages. So it uses all of the cores. But in Python, there is a thing called GIL log. So it doesn't use all the cores. It uses only one core. And that is defined by the OS kernel of that device. But when you use multi-threading, it's used from concurrent futures. Earlier it was threading, just threading name, but from now it's concurrent futures. So here there are threading and there are multiprocessing. So you can see here, if I ran the program, so each program will wait for some time, okay? So it will wait for some time, but what it does is, in the behind, it processed all the programs in one go. Like you have 4 core processors, 4 core CPU. So all the cores will be used by this thing. So with this, I'd like to show you some of the programs that you can make using Python. It's really tough to make you understand Python within like half an hour. Okay, but if you have any problem, you can ask us, students from IT department, and also you can ask our professors also. They are very kind and they will always help you. Anyway, so I'd like to show you some of the programs that I have created. Okay, you can see the Chrome, right? Okay, so here there are 3 things. Normally it's my GitHub profile, so you can check it there. So there are backend Django profiles, Django projects, I'm sorry. So here you can, you will find some of the projects which you will need to make your own website. Like if someone uploads their photo, then if they keep uploading your photo, like you all upload your photos to the WhatsApp or any of the social media thing. So if you start uploading, all of you start uploading 4 photos every day. So think how much data they will need in their server to store all of your data, right? So what it does is it will try to delete all your old data, old photos, which you don't actually need. But Facebook doesn't delete it because they use us to earn money, so they'll not do that. But these are the things. So here I told you, right, that Python is very slow programming as people. Yes, you can come. I'm not sir. I'm like, okay. So Python is a very slow programming, as you all might have heard, or maybe people will tell you that Python is very slow because it uses single core and it's a very weakly typed thing. Like it will understand what you wanna make the variable like. So you don't have to define it. So here I'll show you. This is a project I made. So why NumPy? NumPy is a very powerful package. So what it does is it counts, it does mathematical calculations so fast, like you'll be amazed right now. Okay, I'll show you the graph. So here, this is the code. Anyone you want to go with the code, you can go. It's freely available there, and you can also ask us anytime if you want. So right now, maybe you are thinking, why do we need that? It's for programming people, right? But believe me, you will have to use Python at least, like, if you want to go for higher education, like you have to do your thesis or anything, your data science part either you will do in R, if you have heard about R, but Python is very good for programmers and also for data science people. So if you want to go to that higher part, like in physics, you have to decide what is the voltage of that thing. So there are many voltage outcomes. So you have to decide. Normally what we do, we take average of all the voltages, right? But it may not be like that always. There are some like temperature things and all other things that will depend on it. Okay, so there you need machine learning part. So machine learning is what machine have to train themselves, or we will train themselves, and they will decide what will be the outcome of the thing. Okay, so here I have a PNG file. So why do you need Python or NumPy to do your data science part? So you can see the graph, right? So here you can see it's 10 power 7. You can see now 1e7 means 10 power 8, we do. So 10 power 7 times, from 0 to 10 power 7 numbers, they count 7 times. They add all the numbers 7 times. Okay, you can think of that 10 power 7 is like what? Million, no, a million, 10 million, I guess. Okay, so what you can do, 1 crore. 1 crore means up from 0 to 1 crore, it will add 7 times. First 0 to 100, it will, it's 10 lakh. 10 million, na? 1 crore it will be, I guess. 6 zeros, 1 million. So I'm not sure. Okay, you'll do the calculation. Okay, so next, what it's here written is, what it does is, the program does, it will count, it counts from 0 to 100, then 0 to 1000, 0 to 10,000, all the numbers in between, means 0, 1, 2, 3, all numbers are added. Okay, so it does it how many times? 7 times. So you have to see here, for first time it takes, like, it's in milliseconds, so it takes 0 for the sum code I made. The sum for summing all the numbers, I have created this code, and it takes, first you can see 800 milliseconds to add all the numbers. 800 milliseconds is like 0.8 second, I guess, milli micro, yeah, 0.8 seconds, I guess. Okay, then there is Python sum, means inbuilt package. Okay, so inbuilt package takes how many second? 600 millisecond. Obviously they know better than me, so they will do a better coding, so they will know how to minimize the time taken to add the sums. Now take a look into NumPy, what it does. How many milliseconds it takes? 6. So it's so fast, like I told you, you will be amazed. It's 100 times faster than the normal inbuilt code, and more than 100 times faster than my code. Okay, so this is the thing. Then now I'll show you I told you na that Python is not for you have to learn coding with it. If you want to learn coding, you have to learn in C or C++. But if you want to learn if you want to learn coding in Python, it will be better if you learn first C and C++ because Python has really less grammar. So you'll not learn the grammar part of it. Okay. So here, this is the project I have created. And what it does is you can find all of the things. It's right there in the cloud. It's in Heroku website, so it's free. You can host your website. It will be slow. You can make your own social apps also within like 2-3 days if you want use Django. But if you want to go with the PHP thing, so here you can see. So you can, if you want to go with the PHP thing, so here all the things are there. So from here you can go to GitHub, and what it does is using Python only I have created. So anyone who visits my profile, I can get his IP and where he is from, and that is all from Python only. I have used some APIs. So if you dive into that Python thing, it will be very easy for you. So now at the end, I don't want to bore you with that all this programming thing. I'll show you a really cool thing that you will love, and hope you will be into Python one day and you will try to make your own codes. Okay, you saw my GitHub page, right? So in that GitHub page, you will also find the game also, my first game. So it's not my first game, but it's first game for you all. You can make it. It's a very easy game. So all you have played Pac-Man. Pac-Man, you know Pac-Man? Okay. So this is a game I have created, easy game. See how many lines of code. How many lines of code do you think to make a 2D game? How many lines? Like, let's say an idea. How many lines you have to write? Just take a guess. Just take a guess, random guess. Like you have to write this amount of codes, this amount of line to make a 2D game. Any one of you, please be interactive, please. Like, what is your idea? Like to console out, you saw in C++, you have to write like 5 or 6 lines, right? So how many lines to make a normal Pac-Man game? You have seen a Pac-Man game, like spaceship firing, all those coronaviruses. I have created coronaviruses. Okay, so how many lines do you think? More than 500. Okay, so it was a wild guess. So if you try to make 2D game from Python, you will make it within 209. Okay, and there I have added some many more things which maybe you will not use, but you can do it. It's for decoration and all. So you can, I'll show you the game. I'll show the game, but in that console I cannot show you. I'll have to show you through my laptop only. Okay. So in between that, I would like to call our Sushantada to give some talks on.
He's very intelligent. He made a game and 2D also. And शायद तुम लोगों ने सोचा हो कि पाइथन कैसे पढ़ो और पाइथन कैसे रन करो, पाइथन का एनवायरनमेंट क्या है, कुछ पता नहीं। पाइथन का कोड तो समझ रहा हूँ, बट पाइथन कोड कैसे रन करो, इसके लिए बहुत सारे एनवायरनमेंट है, बहुत सारे प्लेटफॉर्म है। इस सोर्स को सोर्स सोर्स कोड अवेलेबल है फ्रीली। तो फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल आई प्रेफर फॉर यू for Python, Jupyter Notebook. After that, you're doing Google Colab. Google Colab also you're doing Python programming. After that, your Anaconda also be you run the ML Python code. Okay. For Anaconda, Anaconda के लिए एक कोड एडिटर चाहिए, और तुम लोगों ने विजुअल कोड भी यूज कर सकते हो और पाइथन भी यूज कर सकते हो। बहुत सारा कोड एडिटर्स है, सबलाइन भी है। I'm telling you, दिस इज माय गिटहब बिग बगर। ओके, यहाँ पे मैंने बहुत सारा प्रोग्रामिंग किया मशीन लर्निंग के लिए। जैसे यहाँ पर मैंने एक प्रोजेक्ट किया था फेस रिकॉग्निशन विद NP-CNM।
Processes will help you. They are very kind. So you can ask anything, please, if you want to ask. Like where from you can learn or where from you can start. If you want to learn Python, really you want to learn Python, search most learning Python. Python. You can learn from there. You can see GitHub projects also. You can do your own. Okay. So any question? Till now. Okay. You have. Okay. Yeah. Ask. Okay. Okay. Okay, so the thing is, I have created a game. What it does is there are some PNGs. See, I so there are some PNGs maybe you have seen. I have bunch of created a game program. What it does is there are some PNGs. So there you can see there are bunch of PNG files. Those are graphics files. Okay. So what it does is there is a single photo of a coronavirus I have created for fun. So what it does is it changes its coordinates, x and y coordinates. That's how it falls. First, the photo loads into some of the pixels, then loads into some of the pixels. I have created 60 FPS, so it will load 60 times per second. So there are games like theory that can give you like 300 FPS. So think of it as how many pixel it will produce per second. It is decided by the graphics card of your laptop. So if there is so many graphics, so many high level graphics. So there are like my laptop is 1080 into 1920 pixels. But this is a 4K screen. So it will need, obviously it will need more power to generate more number of pixels. I will need less number of pixels. So I don't need a graphics card, let's say. But this 4K screen, this will need a graphics card because it has to load. It has to load all the pixels. All the pixels, right? So there are billions, not billions. 4K have like 2160 into 1440 pixels. That many pixels it has to load. So it's mostly graphics based. But computational part based, it's different. Like you wanna count the score or accuracy, how many times you have hit the target. So that's your accuracy. So you have that's computational part of it. So there are games which are very dependent on graphics part, which are very dependent on computation part. But there are some games which are very dependent in both. So you have to think of them. And you have nowadays there are online games like PUBG. So you have to think of IO part also. Input output. How fast is your Wi-Fi? If your ISP is giving you 72 ping and your phone Wi-Fi can give 100 ping, 100 ms. So it will bottleneck. Your phone will bottleneck. Obviously, if you have 2 liter of bottle, but you cannot take 2 liters, so you are bottlenecking. Not that you don't have 2 liter, right? I think you have bottleneck. So I think you have cleared all your, or any question you want to ask, any one of you. So now I think you are bored right now, but believe me, this part are very means. I love this part. I love coding. I was in physics, but I moved into MCA, so I love coding. So after that, one of our student will show you Android part. Okay, Android, how to build Android, and believe me, making Android app is really easy. Because for if you want to make PUBG game and all, like it's very tough. But let's say you want to just make a calculator. It's very easy. You can make it in one day. There are many tutorial videos. So I hope you like our lecture, our both of us.